All right, so uh, in this session, I am going to fix a bug. It should be pretty straightforward, and then also create a new command called new dbmail, probably. Sorry, it's gross to hear somebody swallow. Um, so first thing I want to do actually is did I want to let people know? I'm gonna let people know that I'm gonna be doing the bug fix and see PowerShell live. It's not there yet. There we go. All right, so one bug fix and one new command coming up. All right. So we have a command that basically it runs dbcc dbclone. What is it called? dbcc clone database. Yeah, dbcc clone database. And that's essentially what invoke dba dbclone does. And apparently, even though, interestingly enough, we have a test. So with invoke dba dbclone, you can specify a database. And we have a test that checks to see if you specify a database, if it just tries one. But apparently that test isn't an actually good test because we had this. So what I'm going to have to do is fix the bug and then create the regression test. First thing I'm going to have to do is create a database. I'm going to use SQL 2017. Test. All right, so now this is going to be run up against test. So I'm just going to copy Kirill's command. I think it'll name it by default, so I could just take that off. Or no, you know what? I didn't specify a clone before, so maybe that's the problem. Hey, Shane! Hi! We do have new DBA. Oh my God, you're totally right. Oh, hey, Brett. I I should have used DBA tools. You know what? I'm too embarrassed. I'm just gonna go ahead and not do. I'm just gonna delete it, and I am going to new DBA database. Oop, nope. Database SQL instance. SQL 2017. You know what Twitch is like? Twitch is like having a whole bunch of people standing. It's I want to get used to it though because and I'm already like this is I think the third time today that I've streamed, so it's getting better. But it is interesting. You're like, oh man, I can't type as well, or maybe I always suck at typing. So database, no, I think it's gonna be name. Test. Awesome. Thank you guys. All right, so now we just created a quick little database that we're going to test against. And I'm going to go back here. So in this, Kirill had actually, he put these quotes around it, but you don't need it. And the reason is because whenever you look at the parameters, it's already casted as a string. So we could just do test here, and we could do SQL 2017 here. The reason that you would want to put these, though, there's legitimate uses for this. Let's say there was a space. Let's say that there was some other weird character. You have to use the quotes a lot. if you have a path that has a space in it. And some people just kind of default to using it because maybe they do use something with a lot of spaces. So each of them are legitimate. Whenever I have examples and things like that, I like to use as few characters as possible. So now what we're going to do is run this with a verbose to see what it's doing. So we could see here that it is processing the system databases, and that the what if isn't proper. So let's just see what happens if what if. So yeah, we should get some warnings because we've already created it, but I also need to go and change that. So there's 2 bugs that we have to fix in here. First, let's go ahead and take care of the what if portion. Oh, this is the test. So maybe instance isn't actually for each DB. All right, so what happens is if you pipe it in, you won't get the instance name. So you can see here that what we need to do is set the instance name. This is because a lot of times, like in the past, we have relied a lot on the use of instances whenever we weren't piping as much. Sorry, the instance variable. And so now the way that we're doing with this piping, you can see for each DB an input object. We're going to have to recreate that. So you can see here that it's server. But what we don't have is instance. So instance equals server.name, and that'll be the instance name. So now if I remove that, I'm going to use DBA tools for it. All right, remove DBA database, SQL instance. God dang it. SQL 2017. Database. I'm looking at my drop frames. Cool, I got 0. Hey guys, if you notice that my, that like a freeze up or something, please let me know, because I was dealing with those problems earlier today, and Sean thought that it was just his, but it was actually a whole bunch. It was actually just the stream itself. I had to fix a couple things on my Mac. All right, so then we're going to confirm false. All right, so we dropped it. Sweet. So what I want to do now is reload the module since I made my changes. And then I do want to run that what if happens. So it tells me, hey, and look, you could see that now that it's showing up. So we have one thing down. Let's go ahead and, oops. Why wasn't there an output? Interesting. Did it make it? Oh, cool. You know, it can actually understand my Cajun accent, so there's that at least. Hey, they even capitalize Cajun. That's really nice. So I always like to have a bunch of liquids around me. I got some water, got some coffee, and I got a little gin and tonic and a nice little left glass because it looks close enough. All right, so what's interesting and crappy about this is that we could see that it did it, but then there's no output. And wasn't there some output before? I don't get that. That's aggravating. Let's go see if it created it. All right, so it did create it, but there's just no output for whatever reason. Annoying. All right. So one bug at a time. So what we saw before was that it processes every single database, which means that input object actually, oh my God, this is a really easy fix. Excellent database. Boom. All right. So basically what happened here is that I realized that input object had too many objects in it. And then I went to see like, well, where's it building that? And it builds it right here. But what it wasn't doing was passing in the database. So I'm super pumped. This should fix it. I'm going to reload the module again. I'm going to remove that database again. And this time I'm going to do it without the confirm and without the verbose because I want to see it output this stuff. What? All right. Now we ran into another bug that wasn't there when I first started this. So let's see. You can see here that it's get DBA database. So it's running it against the server, and it's running it against CloneDB, which is from Clone Database. And so maybe at some point the Clone Database name was overwritten. And is it required? So let me go up a bit. So it's not required. Where does it get that value? My stream is distracting. Let me change this real quick. All right. Oh, you know what I could do? I could actually go back here and just cancel. So what I want to figure out right now is, one, if clone database isn't required, then where does it come up with the name, right? Because it should seem like it should either be required or create the name, and I'm not seeing that. So let me go ahead and remove that database real quick. And then I would like to remove... That's why! Ha! All right, we didn't pass in clone database this time. And what I'm going to do... That's not VS Code. It's true. Yes, one, this is a PowerShell stream. And two, Shane, you're right. This isn't VS Code. It is PowerShell Studio from Sapien. Initially, I purchased PowerShell Studio a number of years ago before VS Code was available. And at the time, it was just ISE, which I didn't like in any way, shape, or form. And there were a couple others by Dell, and I went through all of them, and this was the best one at the time. It was extremely expensive. For me, I didn't get my company to buy it. I did get a 20% discount from June Blender, but it was still about $300 US, and then each year you have to rebuy it for about $130 to $200, depending on if you can get some stacked discounts. And I completely understand why that's necessary. It is a commercial product. However, whenever people ask me, what should I use? The answer for me is always VS Code. The reason that I don't use VS Code yet is it's really dumb. But you see this right here? Like, I love this. And what I'm hoping is that I heard that next month the VS Code team is actually going to fix... This is my book, y'all. What up? They're going to fix this, right? And maybe be able to put in some filtering. And so once this can be filtered, then maybe that means that they've changed the VS Code engine, and then I can add... See, all I want is a little filter here. And so maybe if that's added, then I'll get the equivalent of this. And then I could start using VS Code. So it's on my agenda. I'm going to have to figure it out before July because that's when I pay the other, like, I don't know, $200. It's true there was so many lunches. There's about 31. Um, and uh, and so, yes, currently I use PowerShell Studio. I am trying to make my way to VS Code to use that, but there is just this one little this thing that's holding me back here. It's fun to use the VS Code, and that's why we're writing the book in it. It's super cool. So me and Beard are co-authors on DBA Tools in a Month of Lunches, and Claudio is currently the technical editor. I believe that we'll be getting a couple more. But it's really awesome because we are editing and creating the book through GitHub and through VS Code. So I'm really loving that process. All right, so now that we see clone database is not there, then I'm going to figure out first, how did it know to create the name? Oh, maybe it's because, maybe this is what SQL Server does automatically if you don't pass in a name. I'd be curious. So we have test, or it just doesn't do it at all. Okay, let's see. No, I just removed it. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to say database test and see what happens. So nothing happens. So it should be required, or it should be created. So what I'm going to have to do is not test bound parameter name. Test bound is what we use to see if somebody has explicitly said clone database whenever they're running the command. So if test bound not parameter name clone database, then what do we need to do? We need to set the clone database name. So we're going to do that, by doing clone database equals. So you can see why we need a test bound here, because if we were to say if not clone database, then I've already set this just now. So it would try to use the same variable over and over again. So instead we have something called test bound, and you can get this command in Frederick Weinman's module called PS Framework. He has, I think, test PSF bound that can test to see if somebody actually specified it as they were typing out the command. So then the clone database name is going to be, and this isn't going to be pretty, but let's do it. Actually, I could just do clone. Should it be uppercase or lowercase? I'll just do that. All right. Okay. Now, why it would say for each clone DB and clone database, I'm guessing that's because we allowed it. Okay. You can clone one database and clone it against, and make multiple clones of the same database. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. But, I like to enable stuff, so I don't know any other people's environment or what that would be useful for, but it's probably possible, and PowerShell just makes it really easy. All right, so now we have that. I don't like this because I just executed that and it should at least be doing something. Let's see. So it's execute. Oh, look, underscore clone. Did I not do this right? Oh, db.name. Whoops. Did it not go through this? for each clone DB in clone database. You know what I'm going to do? My form of debugging. Right warning, hello. So I want to know if it went there. Let's see if it created it first. I think it did. And then, yeah. The hell. All right. No. So going to reload it. Database test. We're not specifying a database clone. You know what I'm going to do up here? All right, now this is going to be hello 2. And up here. You know, if I start twitching more, then I'm totally going to have to learn how to debug properly, because is this the way that this is how I do it though? All right. Oh, by the way, PowerShell Studio does come with a shell, a host, but I don't use it. I didn't in ISC because it was just too unstable. I don't use it in here, and I don't use it. Actually, I use it more whenever I do use VS Code, but I don't usually. Like, I like PowerShell.exe because it seems to be the cleanest host. Oops. All right. Oops. Let's see. Right warning, clone database. It's true. Daredevil said that it's no different than console.log. Shouldn't. It's so easy though. How strange. Can anybody see what I'm doing wrong? Okay, so if it's not test bound, then you create clone database and then you write warning clone database, but then it's telling me here specify. Oh, that's why. Okay, cool. It's not, it did, I have to put it in quotes so that I could, yes, thank you so much. I have to put it in quotes so that it becomes, instead of an array, it becomes just a flat string. Thanks, y'all. And where was it defined as an array? It was defined as an array up here. So right here. And write message doesn't accept arrays. So if you put those quotes around it, what you can either do is put quotes around it, or you can do dot to string, and that'll let you do it as well. So it went through hello 2. We can see that at least. And come back here. Delete. Hey, it made the proper name, which is nice. So let's do this again. I obsessively type F. And Vex said that he'd probably recommend join for that. I could see that. Because I'm just... let's see, arrays to strings tend to be weird. It's true. There's so many things that you're going through this and you're like, why? And then you're like, okay, I'll just have to do it this way. All right, so now we're going through. We could see test clone and hello 2, which is great. Maybe I'm executing things and I'm not creating it. So let me go up here and take that out. So that's excellent that we can see that it's going through there, and it's going through here too. What I'm thinking is that maybe I'm running that get database before it actually exists. So it runs the DB query. That's what it is. All right, so you see how right here I have server? The servers, it hasn't been refreshed yet. And so I'm kind of getting it from a stale object. And what I could do is one of two things. I can server.refresh. Let's see, server.databases.refresh. And then execute this and we can see if that works. And if so, then I could submit my pull request. So I'm loading that up again, and boom. All right. So now we can see that it is only processing one database, and we could see that we've added this in. That's the target for what if and confirm. So that's nice. And now we have a much cleaner and better command. And I think that we are ready for a pull request. All right, so this is clone fix. I'm going to go and find, here's the issue. Support database properly fixes. I will never learn get command line. No intention. I like my get GUI. All right, so bug fixes. Bug fix. Bug fix for invoke db clone. Once I'm done with this pull request, I'm going to create a new command by looking at some classes. And ooh, if one of you guys on the line, I think that you're like the perfect candidates. I have an idea for a really awesome module that I don't have time to create, but I think that it would save the whole world a bunch of time. So I'll get into that in a bit. Bug fix, support for database properly. I don't need to say fixes. All right. And since I'm the person who usually reviews this, I'm not going to put this in, but I will ask. Oh, you know what I need to do? I actually need to go and write a test, but I'll just do that on another day. Oh God, go scat mode. What did it say? Is it talking about poo? I can't see it right now. Let me see my obs. What did it say? You know, maybe I just whisper poo and nobody, you know, y'all don't hear it, but the closed captions do. Scoop de poop. I did ban a whole bunch of words, but not like, oh, I explicitly allowed, however, other words. But I'm gonna keep it clean. Oh, ha! It's the internet. I made a poor assumption. So I'm gonna ask Karel to take a look. He's a developer that's often participating, and I know that he'll be around. And he's gonna know exactly what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna create that pull request. All right, so now that we have done that, I'm going to go to development, refresh, even though I know that nothing's there. And then I'm going to create new command, new dbmail. All right. So somebody had asked me in here, like, hey, I would like a new dbmail. And then he said that he would try working on it. And what I would love is that if I can create the first command for him, then maybe he can use that as a template for the rest of the commands. And I think that this would also be a good way to show people how we create commands from DLL files, which just blows my mind. So I'm going to clear this, going to reload, And I'm going to close a bunch of stuff. And I need to get my mind in a different place. So, dbmail. Come here. Reload. Close a bunch of stuff. All right, so dbmail, I'll show this for the people who aren't into SQL Server. dbmail is something that's awesome. We use it a lot. But the interface is so, I need to connect to another one actually, because that's a pretty clean new box. 2016 has a bunch of stuff in it though. So dbmail, it just feels so hard to get to. This is what it looks like for a DBA to go through here. So you want to manage. Like, why can't this just be some like expanded stuff here? And it's always been this way, kind of hidden behind all of these clicks. You can see here, you have accounts, you have profiles, you have the mail server itself. I didn't do any actions, and so you have new account, new profile, or you can view and change an existing one. So the first thing that I want to do is actually want to create a mail server. And I went and I looked at get dbmail to see what it outputs. So let's do get dbmail, SQL instance, SQL 2016. And we can see here that it has profiles, accounts, and configuration values and properties. And then if we do a get member, then it has a whole bunch more stuff, right? So the methods I could kind of ignore for now because I'm creating new stuff, right? And then I have to see what is kind of like what's available to create that's new. What kind of properties does it have? And then after I look at this, I'm like, oh, there's nothing like super obvious. So I'm going to go to the internet and I'm going to see how other people create new. Well, first of all, I have this command that I use to search all of my code, and also this really great book by Donabelle Santos, where she has a lot of SMO stuff. So SMO are the DLLs that we as PowerShell SQL people program against. And it's super powerful. And essentially, like this is all SMO right here. SQL Server Management Studio is a GUI built on top of SMO, and then we are a tool set built on top of SMO. And so the first thing that I do is I look at, this is mail.sql mail. So there might be, I'd be curious, let's look to see if this is called everything and it's awesome. Everything helps me find DLLs. So let's say that you have like Microsoft.smo. What would it be? SQL Server.smo. You can see all the DLLs. Everything is at voidtools.com. It's totally free. There's somebody wrote a PowerShell interface for it too. But it's super cool. But apparently there's no SQL mail. I would have expected there to be. But I guess it's like built into SMO itself. So what I want to do is see if I have written about it before, because I forget everything. And then I also want to see if maybe it's in Donabelle's book. So do I have find book? So it's find shit, because like I'm just like, I need to find some shit. So and then SQL mail. So it looks like we have a bunch of commands that accept it to be piped in, but we don't have any other things. So then I go to the internet and I'm like, create dbmail PowerShell. I looked it up earlier today. Yeah, configuring database mail at PowerShell and SMO. So this is configuring it, but I want to create it. Now here's a mail profile. Here's some alters. There was a conversation earlier that people were having. Shane, it's because, F is for, that one's for force because a force import. Um, and then like fine shit is like, I mean, that's like the first thing that comes to my head. And I'm like, oh, I gotta find that. And it goes through I think it goes through like DB checks, PS framework, and some other things too. I had actually seen someone, so the first thing that they do, let's say they enable that, and they change the logging. I would prefer that, well, I could probably set that as like a parameter. So it's mail account, but I need something else. I'm bummed because there was a super straightforward way that I found earlier today. See here at Packed Pub, this is it. So this is the Donna Bell Santos book. That's super awesome. But let's see. Let's see what else she has. That's just a small bit. Oh, that's it. So she just creates a server. What did I look before? Let's see. Maybe I looked for, sometimes I'll just do this. I'll get the object that it creates, SQL mail. But that's not what I searched for earlier today. And it was like so straightforward. SQL mail, SMO, PowerShell. There we go. Nope, that was the bigger one. All right. Oh, that's why it was so simple. It was just operators. It wasn't like the other thing. I was all like, yeah, this will be perfect to show people because it'll be super easy. All right, so let's go back to the longer one. So what I'm kind of thinking here is that there isn't a new DBA dbmail. It would be a lot easier for me to show something like the mail account. So that's the account, and then you have your profile too. And right now I'm just kind of thinking through what creates this. Okay, so now I'm just actually going to script it. Out variable will both show you the output and assign it to a variable. I'm gonna give it a dot script. So this does everything. So it does the configurations. So new DBA dbmail might just be enabling configurations and then adding the profiles later. So this kind of gives me, looking at the SQL gives me an idea of how I'm going to create the command. So it's just configuring. So this doesn't serve the purpose that I wanted to show you guys today, which is kind of looking at a DLL or like the class to create a new command. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this part because it looks like I'm just going to new DBA dbmail server. I don't know what it would be named. Would just actually be updating a bunch of configs, which isn't as exciting. So what we're going to do is go back to the PowerShell, and the first thing that you have to do is create an account. So what I'm going to do is create the account. Let's do A still has accounts, right? So here's what creating a new account will basically look like. And then you do get member. Because I want to see what's more, like what else does it have there. So I know that so it has a create, which is really nice. So I'll probably, create with a new object, give it a whole bunch of properties, and then use create. And then later, if I need to do something else, I'll do alter. And that's essentially what this is showing me here. So they do go through that section. And, once I'm actually done with this, I'll probably send this webpage to Ian, who had messaged the DBA Tools account on Twitter. So here's the mail account. And I'm not going to do it this way, just because I don't really like super long stuff. What I'll do is I will do new object, but then I'm going to give it some properties. And then I'm going to look for one of our things that maybe is the closest, but we really don't have anything in the dbmail profile. Session might be pretty straightforward. Yeah, so we got a name. All right. I like this setup. So I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to name it properly. But also, I want to make sure that we have something called dbmail account. We do. Excellent. All right. So we have the get, and now we're going to have the new. For the dogged. For real, though, that one was exhausting, and I was just like, nope, you can make it in SQL Server Management Studio, and then export it. So we kind of addressed the issue. This is for another command. We addressed the issue by using templates. So the synopsis creates a new database mail account. Oh, I need to name it. All right. So I'm going to go here and DBA tools, functions. I'm going to do this later in depth. I'm going to keep that. SQL credential name is the name of the, so I'm going to take session and say account. Wish me luck. Excellent. What is the name that I like to give my accounts? Let's see. Oh, I could just do that. Accounts. Display name. DBA team. Oh, here's a great use of putting stuff in quotes. I don't know if y'all saw in my FAQ, I talk about like what's on your nose. It's a nose strip because I can't breathe and it was making me sleepy. As an American living in Belgium, I don't have the immune system against all of their allergens, so I just have to wear this. And I was wearing it at work, and some dude was like, "Man, thank God you're not a Dane." And I was like, "Excuse me? Yes, I am. I lie, I'm not." I need to breathe, and that's more important than not looking dumb. But I will say I put on the transparent one today instead of, there's another one that's just like thick. And yeah, this one's like thinner. The DBA team, what up? It's true. You know what? Let's do that. But this is an example, so I won't. I was tempted though. All right. Account. And this is for our multi-line examples, so I think I'm just going to remove that for now. Move XE. Creates a new dbmail account. That's just for now. I'll do better later. All right, and I'm surprised. Let's see. Confirm impact. I would have to say this is pretty damn low. So we're going to go with confirm impact equals low. Name should be indeed. Now, where are we going to get our parameters? See, the XKCD approach to hyphenation. What is that? I actually have an XKCD book here. I got married in an XKCD shirt. It was the equation for love. But I don't know their use of hyphenation. All right, so where do we get the parameters? We get them by doing get member. So what we kind of want to do is make this available to people. And fortunately, there's not so many. Oh, that's SQL mail. Sorry. I was wondering. I was like, where's the display name? Accounts? Yeah. All right. So this is basically going to be like probably the max amount of parameters that we'll have, but we may not need to do all of them. The what if book. That's awesome. I don't know what the what if book is though. I don't know. I like that sweet ass car though. All right, so description. That's not in here right now. So we're gonna give him description. Y'all saw where I got that from? I don't have the. Oh, you know what? My wife has the what if book. It's the book of like, yes, she read that one. I think that it was too long for me. I'm not good at reading long books that are of that type. Let's see. Yes, the what if scientific hypothetical questions. That's her favorite, along with like end of the world scenarios. And I don't have that book because not I'm not super interested in hypothetical stuff. I should be, but my brain is just like, why don't you go do some PowerShell instead? I'm like, all right brain. Shane, if you can't find the XKCD equation for love after you're done, let me know and then I could send it to you. You know what? Do XKCD love equation shirt and then maybe it'll send you back to where, back to the actual one. So now we are looking again. If you're just joining us, we're creating a database mail account and we're looking inside. We're looking inside of the class that'll help us create this. I'm making a new one and I need to know like what do I need to make available for people, and if it's settable right here, then that's something that I need to make available probably. So we have display name, which is going to default to name. Display name equals name. Is this valid? Guess we'll find out. I forgot if I could do this or not. No. So I just pasted that in so that the error would go away. All right, so name, display name, description. Let's see, that's some gets. I don't need to worry about that. Display name, email address. I need to offer that to the people. Let me see. I'm gonna click that. Oh, I just lost my Twitch thing. No, not yet. You know what? I'll message Lou and ask her if she could find it. Looks like Hal found it. Maybe. Yes, that's the one. Yes. So they have that on a shirt. And the shirt actually has it in the colors, like a little red heart. And I loved it. Thanks, Chris. Now I'm going to delete this message because we no longer need it. So now I'm going to go back and we're going to look at the things. I need to add email address to this new command. Oh, okay. So guys, listen. The new module that I was thinking of is something that could actually take a class and automatically do this, right? So the class would look for settable properties, and then it would kind of make that shell for new commands. So instead of us like going through looking, getting that, doing this, and then it's basically like a template creator, because this is what we have to do every single time with a new, and it's just time consuming. In addition, at least with SQL Server, there's help that's available with each of these. So if that could be included as well. And I think that, like, on one hand, it would save me so much time because I could use that to do to create a whole bunch of news within SMO and the DBA tools library. But on another hand, I get super exhausted and I'm just like, not today. And then, and then here I am because this is easier. Then I could just go and look through and get all my sets. So this one's actually pretty straightforward because, so the parent, that's just the SQL Server itself. We don't want to do that. Name, we've got that. We've got, we're not doing any, let's see, reply to address, actually. Need to add that in there. Sounds like reflection work. But, Vex, could it also be like some get member work? Or are you talking about the help portion? So I forgot, like, we actually have, is it SQL help? That SQL help. No, there was like some kind of SQL XML. Something. There was some kind of XML. SQL enum, I think, .xml actually has a whole bunch of help. I don't know anything about reflection. I tried to use it and it's like my brain could go like 3 steps down, and that reflection is like the 4th step, and then it melts, and then I start back at 1, and then I get down and I hit the 4th step, and then it melts, and then I go into an infinite loop. So I try not to mess with a reflection. Get service, get member, type property output. Yeah, something like that. So what it would basically be is this. Let me show you. So we have, I don't want to do create store. Let's do this. SMO mail account. All right, so here's a class. And new object, that, right? Gosh, let's see. Is that going to work? No. All right. God dang it. I need to find, let's just go with server because I know that we could do that, right? So, DBA instance, connect DBA instance. Then I'll do .server. All right. So here's an example. We have this class. And if we look at it like that, oh God, I think it's going to go to localhost and this is going to take forever. I keep choosing the wrong ones. So let's just sit here while it defaults to localhost. All right. So we have this class. And if we do get member type property, and maybe there's a way that you could find that it's like just a setter. So let's do get member of that. Let's see. Definition, member type name. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to find out if it's a setter or a getter. But you basically do this. You see, let's see. Yes, a class explorer, but it's a class, it's derive a new command from this class. And then just give me that template to work with, and then I can go and add everything that I need to, which is essentially what I'm doing now, but it's a very manual process. So let me go back to this accounts, get member. I need to do reply to address because here's a set. Did I do it yet over here? I saw that, but I'm like, we'd have to turn it to outstring and then do a search for set, but that feels like that's the not sexy way of going about it. So let me close out a couple things. That would be awesome. Amazing. Right. Reply to. I think we have all the sets. User data. I don't even know what that is. What the hell is user data? Let's see. I don't think that's necessary. So we got description, display name, email, reply to. I think we got everything here through the properties. All right, so now would be really nice, and I know that VS Code does this, but to my knowledge, PowerShell Studio does not. So that's what it is. Oh, no, I don't think that it's user data open close because it is a property and not a method. Yeah. So that open close would be over here up in the methods. So it'd be user data. I'm not aware of anything that like talks about user data, so I think that's just one of those things that we don't necessarily have to pay attention to. Enable exceptions already there. Now for this, I'm going to hope that Microsoft has some pre-made help. I don't know if it'd be SMO. We'll see. Oh, cool. Chris's stub command may be close to having the functionality. Is Chris still on? I don't really know how to explore this. I see that I have 18 viewers, but I'm not sure. Hover to view. I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. So you see, this information is kept in a DLL somewhere. Cool. Thank you so much. So it'd be sets, display name, let's see, description. A textual description. I think that's too many words. Sets the. Okay. Display name. Sets the name of the mail account that is displayed in messages. That is a good one. This is also another good one. I don't have to make many mods there. Description. And then I actually would like to get the name. Let's see, is busy. That is something that you would just get from it. What about name? Like, I want to know the difference. I have a clue. Name. No. All right. Okay. So I'll leave that. All right. So we have our help done, which will help me pass my tests when committing it to the DBA tools repository, because that is something that we use. We got that test from June Blender. So if you look up June Blender in module help, let me see real quick. Tests, and then in module help. This is the test that we use that came from June Blender, who was one of the original help creators for PowerShell, and we modified it just a little bit. Like, yeah, quit failing AppVeyor. We've had to do a couple workarounds to make AppVeyor work all the time, because I've talked to AppVeyor and they're super cool. Also, shout out to data masterminds in the Netherlands who gave us it's super awesome. They gave us 10 threads in AppVeyor, which is like, I don't know, something like 2,500 a year, something massive that I wouldn't have been able to afford. So anyway, but there are a couple things. They said that we are a project with like super high IO, and that's why we see weird failures sometimes, and they are upgrading their data center. So anyway, what this does is it goes through every single command that is exported, and it makes sure that you have your description, synopsis, examples, and so on. And you can include it in your own repository that's in module.help.tests. So, all right, now we have for each instance in SQL instance, I'm going to have to create something. So now what I'm going to do, this enables what if to surround it. You know what it should do? Called name. Oops. This isn't a super helpful what if, because maybe what I should have done before was check to see if it actually exists. But in this case, if you would try to create it and it already exists, then SMO is actually going to give you the failure there. This that I copied from looks ripe for outputting some really nasty red errors. So I'm going to remind myself to throw in a try catch. All right. Now I'm going to go back to that other thing and see what I can take from it. That's the agent operator, so that's not the same. Here's the account, and that's what we're doing, right? We're creating an account. Yes. All right. So I don't like these. I'll see if it's possible just to do this. Yes. All right, so that's what we're going to start with. But it's probably better to do this. So let's see if that'll work. And that just gives it its parent. So it just connects. Awesome. So it creates a connected object. Cool. All right, so now that we have account, then what we will do is I'm going to see if it's possible to like set it with null values. So let's say that we want display name, right? Oops, display name equals display name. If this doesn't let, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, then I'm going to do like if test bound and so on. What about the name? I wonder if I can set the name. And this kind of reminds me that I should probably require the name. Mandatory name. Sweet, it's already done. Is there a reason I'm using new object? I actually don't know any other. Do you have a suggestion? I mean, what else is there? Oh, I've seen that before. Can you tell me? A CV3 support. Okay. Yes, we do. V3 is the minimum that we support. So I think that there was what, a .NET way that makes it faster. No, we do not support V2. Okay, yeah, type name new. 2 is too painful for me to program for, and also since it's super insecure, that kind of lent itself to us not supporting it. Let's see. Oh, I'm curious now how long that would take. So let's see. It's true. What? Why? What? Oh, because I did it wrong. What the how is that possible? Whatever. Oh, that's why I was typing something. 13 milliseconds isn't horrifying. Can somebody paste in the syntax for this with the type name new, and then we could do the comparison? But yeah, I mean, like, I think that 13 milliseconds ain't too terrible. And we're only creating one object right here. All right, so we got display name. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, Twitch is fun. It's just so cool to be able to program with other people, so I super appreciate you guys being here. And being like, could you please help? Let's see. Using new on average is about 5 times quicker. Man, that's really nice. So I wonder why it's not backwards compatible. You know what I should have done was kept that $sign. All right, that's beautiful. Reply to address is there, and that is there. New server.mail. I wonder if I could copy this. I can't. Yeah, I can. Sweet. Type name. Oh. Oh, I wouldn't know how to like translate that. But if y'all give me something I could copy paste, we could do a little comparison. All right, so what I'm going to do is try this out. And in our catches, we have DBA Tools uses stop function because Fred, whenever he first started, basically I asked him for a whole bunch of stuff in C sharp, and he created that, and he was like, man, this actually would make a great module. And so he created PS Framework. So PS Framework would be stop PSF function, but in DBA Tools, it's native. So I'm going to use stop function, and we'll see why. Hey, thank you so much. Let me try this. Doe. Does it recognize server.mail since it's in the thing? Did I paste it right? Cannot find overload for new in argument 1. Maybe it needs a name. Hey, try it without the parenthesis and the arg. See what the actual overloads are. Okay. Ooh, cool. Okay, so tell me, how do I figure out the overload? Because this is some .NET-y stuff that I don't usually do too much. Just new? Okay, okay, gotcha. Like so. Hey! Oh my god. Okay, now this looks familiar. Okay, so it needs the SQL mail and then the string name. But that's what I did the second time. Set parent failed for mail account name here. Oh, okay. Let me see if it was the DBA team. Damn it. Set parent. Maybe SQL 2016. Why can't I? I'm so sorry. Name SQL mail. Server.mail should be SQL mail. Maybe not. Nope. Okay, cool. Server.mail is empty, so I actually need to, it's server.dbmail. Okay, let's try that. Hey! That worked. Okay, so let's do the new object versus new object. Yeah, that is faster. 22. Oh, not there. And this one's connected. But yeah, so I think I had looked into that in the past, and it's true. We do support version 3. And I hated version 2. So now we're going to go back to here where we do stop function message. I'm just going to say failure because once we add on the error record, what it will do is it'll show like a pretty error record. And there are other things that I can add here. Oh, I know why. Continue. Probably. Would I do a continue? Yes. So a continue will report it. Continue. We'll report it, and then it'll go back to the instance. So I can, let's say that I want to create the new DBA team account on multiple SQL servers. If it fails on one, it'll continue going. And if it does fail, it's not going to be that red, because I always found as a newbie to PowerShell, whenever you see red, I mean, like as a DBA, it's just terrifying. And I think like, oh my God, I lost a bunch of data. And it just wasn't that severe. Like this. Let's see if get child item. Hello. Like it's just, it's just too much. And yeah, I didn't want to scare people off. And it's just not pretty, and I like pretty. So that's what stop function does for us. Now let's see this in action. I don't know if I can create a new mail account without setting up the dbmail properties themselves, but we are going to try. So I'm going to reload my module and clear because that red gives me anxiety. All right, can't find the overload for mail account and the argument count 1. Oh. Okay, so we do have to put the name, which is similar to what we just went through. That is super interesting. Okay, so name. I think that, hopefully I always remember that and I don't have to go to MSDN again. Okay, so then that makes sense. So that means that email address is going to have to be required. Boom, account. No, why? What? Oh, okay, so, well, create didn't throw off anything. Let me try this on 2016 because I know that that's been set up properly. And what I'm going to do is my new favorite trick, which is to use out variable instead. That way we can see it and also assign it to a variable. All right, let's go look here. It's 2016, refresh. Oh goodness, what did I do? Okay, so now I'm going to go back to that person's thing and see. So they did a create. Let's see, the mail server, that the account. It created it. Oh, ha, 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 ha. All right. What I forgot to do, I created it, but I didn't output it. So I'm going to output it, but I'm going to remove a couple things. Hey, that is incredible, Vex. All right, let me see. Let me copy that. Out variable, out default, out variable, last out. I'm going to just name that A. I think I'm going to name it A. Should I name it A? Is that a bad idea? What am I going to name it? Oh, because I never use that, and that's last out. Yes. Thank you. Oh, no, damn it. All right. Okay, so what I didn't do was output anything. No, what? Why? What? String. Oh, you're right. Totally right. My bad. Thank you. No, wait. There we go. Okay, now we got it. Oh, no, whatever. We'll figure it out in the next one. So, it looks like it probably created it, but thank you. But I didn't output anything because I totally forgot. Now, by default, it's going to show a bunch of things that are gross that I don't really care about. And so let's see. I'm going to try this again. All right, that's fine because this is excellent news. Okay, and does that mean that O should work? No. Oh, and it also didn't output anything. Oh, I forgot to load it. Damn it. All right. Okay. So now we're going to be DB18. 1, 2, 3. Please work. Oh, yes. Ha. Fantastic. Okay. So this is a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to run people off. And it's just not really necessary. And also, I have to add a couple of our standard members. So I'm going to come here. Within DBA tools, we have something called select default view. Sorry, I think I'm yelling, but I just got excited. So we have select default view, which hides things, and that is based off of Boprox's thing. No, that's default path. Hold on. So Bo has this. And basically, so whenever you do select object, it makes things go away. In this instance, I don't want them to go away. I just want to hide them. And so we use default property displays. We took this and kind of added our own thing to it. So, and I keep being tempted to pipe here. And so I told myself, do not be tempted to pipe here. Or to not pipe here. Because I like using dash input object, but every time that I did, it was messing stuff up. So, okay. So what I want to do is pipe to select default view. Property. ID. Name. Display name. Description. Email. Hold on. Lou's asking me if I want a burrito. Sure. Okay. Email. Address. It's true. You know, yes. It's, I thought that we were having tacos, but I guess we're having burritos tonight. Email, reply to, is busy. You know, by this time, I would just exclude this because it's not necessary. And we do have, instead of property, we could do exclude property, but I want them in a certain order. So we have name, we have mail servers. Okay, I don't know. Do you need it? I don't know. I'll put that at the end. Is busy. I think that that is useful. A parent, not so much. It's useful for us as programmers, but not necessarily. All right, so computer name, instance name, SQL instance. Is it instance name? Let me go to one of my other ones, get DBA database. And I need some forces on there. All right. Fixing this with the add member force, I know that it's slow. Addressing that is on the agenda for like DBA tools 1.0 or 1.1 or 1.2. But for now, I'm so impressed that PowerShell could do this. Yeah, instance name, SQL instance. All right. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This is beautiful. Everything's working so far. What I didn't do is add a description. Hello, sup. And do number 5. And then, oh, what up? O is for out. And I need to do a reply to address, which I haven't done. This is actually going a lot easier than usual. So that's really nice to see. And then check it out. So you can see here, if I do O select star, then those things still exist, and they're just hidden, and they can actually be used. So check this out. O dot database engine type. So you can see it could still be accessed, even though by default it's not showing it. Hold on, let me. Potato. You wanted to leave? Where'd you go? Got people waiting on Twitch. Don't just be casual about leaving. Thanks, Paul. All right. Okay. So that is a very exciting initial commit. And then I need to do the other stuff. I need to create some better examples, and then also I need to create some tests. But I'm super tired, and I am supposed to go write the book. So it has been a blast. Thank you guys. It was really awesome learning from you as well. And I'll be here more. So see y'all.